These coconut rolls are wonderfully light and airy with a rich, creamy coconut center and a silky smooth glaze that makes each bite simply irresistible. What's even better, you ask? It is that this recipe requires minimal kneading and uses simple, readily available ingredients. To start with the recipe, in a large bowl, combine half a teaspoon of salt, 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, that is Maida, 1 tablespoon of milk powder, 1/3 cup of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of instant yeast. So note that I am using instant yeast. If you are using any other variety, then make sure to activate it before you proceed with the recipe. Next, give these dry ingredients a good mix to ensure they are well combined. Into it, add 240 milliliters of coconut milk and stir until a dough starts to form. I am using homemade coconut milk that I just made by blending together fresh coconut and water. Store-bought will definitely work as well. So once you have a dough, transfer it to a lightly floured surface and knead for about 3 to 5 minutes. What you are looking for is a dough that's smooth and elastic, so don't add any additional flour here. Just let it come together naturally. To knead the dough, push it away from you using the heels of your hand, then fold it over, give it a slight turn and repeat this process. If you prefer using a stand mixer, knead the dough with the dough hook attachment and follow the steps mentioned from our eggless cinnamon rolls recipe. I shall leave the link for you all in the description box below. After about 3 to 4 minutes, add 1/3 cup of softened butter to the dough and knead until the butter is fully incorporated and the dough is soft and smooth. Place the dough in a greased bowl, cover it with a clean kitchen towel and let it rise in a warm place for about an hour or until it has doubled in size. This step is crucial for achieving that perfect light and airy texture for your rolls. While the dough is rising, let's get started on the filling for our coconut rolls. Begin by melting 1 tablespoon of butter in a saucepan over low heat, and once the butter is melted, add 3/4 cups of desiccated coconut, 1/3 cup of condensed milk and half a teaspoon vanilla extract. Stir the mixture constantly while cooking over low heat until it thickens and starts to pull away from the sides of the pan, which should only take a couple of minutes. Once it's done, remove the pan from the heat and transfer the filling to a separate bowl to cool to room temperature before using. This filling is gonna add a delicious coconut flavors to your rolls, I promise. Alright, it's been an hour and our dough has definitely risen, so let's move on to shaping our delicious coconut rolls. First, punch down the risen dough to release the air and then turn it onto a flat surface. Using a rolling pin, roll the dough into a large rectangle about 18 by 20 inches. Make sure to keep the dough even in thickness. Once you have your rectangle, spread a thin layer of butter all over the dough. Then evenly spread your cooled coconut filling over the buttered dough, making sure you cover every bit of it. And then simply start rolling the dough into a log. Start at one of the long edges and carefully roll the dough up tightly. Once you have your log, cut it into 12 equal pieces. Place these rolls into a greased baking dish, arranging them in a way that gives them a bit of space to rise. Cover the dish with a clean kitchen towel and let them rise for another 30 minutes, that is their second rise. Meanwhile, preheat your oven to 380 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 190 degrees Celsius. And once the dough has risen well, simply put your baking dish in and bake these rolls for 20 to 25 minutes or until they are golden brown on top. While the rolls are getting baked in the oven, let's quickly make the glaze that would go on top, for which we will be beating together the softened cream cheese, about 4 ounces and quarter cup of condensed milk until it is nicely creamy and combined and mixed together. Then to it, add 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice, half teaspoon of vanilla extract and beat well. So beat these ingredients together until smooth and creamy. If you need to adjust the consistency of the glaze, slowly add 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk, 1 tablespoon at a time until it reaches the desired thickness. Keep in mind the glaze may thicken over time, so you can add a bit more milk if needed when you're ready to drizzle it over the rolls. And once your rolls are out from the oven and it is slightly cooled down and is warm to touch, it is this time when you add your finishing touches. So drizzle the creamy glaze over the rolls, allowing it to flow into all the nooks and crannies. The sweet, tangy and smooth glaze will add a perfect touch of flavor to your warm, freshly baked rolls. Instead of this particular glaze, there are few other options available on our site, so you can use any glaze of choice. Oh my god, let's take a moment to admire the soft and fluffy rolls with the perfectly sweetened filling inside. These gave me a tropical vibe, I tell you. These are definitely a tropical touch to your regular cinnamon rolls, which by the way is also available on our channel. So feel free to watch it by clicking it from the screen now. I'll see you soon in my next video. Until then, this is Sushma signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.